Hello, everybody, and welcome to New Platinum Content. This is Dikuth's Band of Merry Men. Sorry about the slight echo there. And we are streaming some D&D today. Welcome back, everybody who's joining us, and hello to all my players. Today should be an interesting episode as we decide where the band decides to go. They have a couple of options before them because last time, before we left off, the group had made their way back to the ship that had carried them to Maztica. Now, a while back, they were attacked by a mighty pirate crew and suffered many losses, including the captain of the ship. So the ship is recovering as well. Very few survivors did, in fact, make it through said voyage, and they're working with what little they have. As they explain the situation to the now in place captain, the Dragonborn Gray, he seemed a little confused about what they needed from him and what was needed in general. But he offered up the services of the crew to whatever to make it their stay on the island to go faster. And when he was told about a certain bargain that had been struck between them and a Jaguar Lord, he prompted them to move ever faster. He then volunteered Bromley and Booker to go with the crew, go with the group to help them collect some of the treasure that they had left behind at the Temple of Maztica. Booker then proceeded to build a sled, couldn't think of the word, to help them carry even more weight along behind whatever horse that Sif may be able to summon at the time. They swiftly made their way back, slightly slower than the journey forward because of the extra weight and the 2 extra people, but proceeded to the campsite that they had used before on their journey that they found quite safe. And upon inspecting it and looking for more food and firewood, it was Katra who discovered that there were interesting arrows in a tree that was standing close to the camp. Closer inspection led to a trail of some kind, and following it gave them very little information. But upon describing the arrows to the group, the barbarian of the group, Kovash, had an interesting reaction, and they all proceeded to be very confused about what was going on. But they went to sleep restfully, not much happened, and woke up in the morning. As they were about to take off on their way, what happened next was they had been hearing drums of war just echoing through the jungles for a couple of days now. And when they started back up, this time, I believe Katra spotted out again to everyone across the ways in the direction that they were heading at the base of the temple seemed to be a fleeing band of soldiers, most of them dressed in tribal gear and armor, most of it shattered and broken. The ones running away seemed to be wearing eagle heads. Their heads seemed to be in the shape of an eagle. And the ones that followed, the ones that seemed to be harrying them, firing arrows and throwing javelins and spears, were all in the matching black dog or black wolf heads. And there seemed to be a much larger fellow, a bigger man by the warriors he followed aspects, all dressed in black, a large longbow at his side, couple of daggers hanging at his waist, and a large black deer stag head with these large black demonic looking antlers. And they seem to start running across the base of this ancient Maztecan temple as you all are beginning your morning routines and basically like re-exploring the area. You see this. What would you like to do?
Just a reminder that Dikuth, Kovash, and Jelenov are still foraging.
Yep.
So the only people who see all this stuff are the people at the camp.
Yep. Specifically Katra.
Has he said anything to us yet?
You'd see if he is. I don't think he's pointed out anything quite yet. He may have said something.
Okay.
No, he definitely he asked if anybody remembered what that room in the temple looked like with all of the little toy clay.
That's what it was. Instead of saying anything about, the marching armies or the great gathering of dust or anything, he turns to you all and he asks, do you all remember the first room in the temple with all the mini clay figurines?
Yes, I do.
Why he's gonna get to Katra and ask where the fuck his helmet is.
So as Sif wakes up and rolls over, because Sif didn't wake up until the last person, and he turns over and looks at you and says, hey, where's my helmet?
And Katra like grabs him by the chin and like is looking like straight into his face and is like, we've got bigger problems right now than your stupid helmet.
In response,
you remember me?
By the chin, he grabs by the throat and pulls closer and says, I asked, where's my helmet? I know.
And Katra like twists his head towards the running band of like half human, half like animal people, and he's like, do you remember the room with the clay dolls that were half people and half animal, and how we thought that was hyperbole? I don't think it's hyperbole anymore.
You thought it was hyperbole. I take lessons from the land around us, so I might know what we might come.
Give me a perception check, Sif. As you are in this as you're in this confrontation, your eye does wander, and you see the shine. What used to be the shine of your helmet, as it's now caked in. It's just gross. It's been sitting in the fire all night, basically, being used as an oven. So the heat treat has probably melted off. Any like lining and any like comfortability that was inside the helmet has burned away. Any of the like embellishment, any of the brass, the bronze probably would have melted away. It's probably starting to shrink slightly, like it probably won't fit your head anymore quite as well as it used to. And you see it, and it's just caked with shit.
His fingers tight.
No.
Muted.
I don't think it would have melted the bronze off.
Yes, it would have.
If the bronze would have started to melt away, yes.
It's like pooled at the bottom. Like it would have melted off.
Remember, the heat that's going off in the helmet is making it hotter inside the helmet, so it's transferring that heat to the metal that's attached throughout it.
Also, once you get rid of the heat treat,
I'm not gonna disagree, but I also think that bronze has a higher melting point.
No, bronze has a really low melting point. That's why the Bronze Age came before the Iron Age.
Yeah, no. I have it from my future brother-in-law, and good note that bronze is a low melting. He has a forge. In the
Regardless,
ground.
the helmet is not what it quite used to be.
It's now just a piece of metal.
Sif is Sif's fingers as he's watching this and you're describing this has just been slowly getting tighter and tighter, and I imagine Katra kind of shrinking slightly, like before Sif just kind of let go and say, "Keep it."
What am I gonna do with it?
You can continue to ruin things that aren't yours, and ruin it for yourself.
To be fair, I didn't know that it was gonna do that.
You would have told me I could have. You know how many weapons I've forged, how much clay I've never.
You don't look like the type of person that plays in mud.
Well then, maybe if you come north with me, I'll show you the fort I built. And Sif's gonna grab his sword and say, "So where did
Also,
you say this was?" I already did. Sorry.
You did. No?
While all this is happening, I'm assuming I heard at least him mention that there's like an army running towards us, right?
I don't think he's even mentioned it yet. He said that it may have been true that those things in the first room are real, and at this point they're gone.
I showed it. Oh, I thought I like showed it to Austin's character.
Nope, you just
We're-
it's not a
we're on the-
hyperbole
we're
anymore.
Looking for his
No,
helmet.
I said I also turned his head towards the figures that were running towards us.
Oh, I missed that part. Sorry.
I missed that part too because he grabbed you by the throat instead.
When he grabbed me by the throat, I said I turned his chin towards where they were running towards us, and said that.
Well, that's when he was actually noticing his helmet, so. So,
Mind. I know.
what?
No, never mind. I was gonna. Never mind.
It's neither here nor there. Jelenith, Dikuth, and Kovash, what are the three of you doing? Jelenith, you can give me a survival check at advantage to see, like, how much of this food you can gather. Yeah, so it's as much as you'd like to fill your packs with, pretty much. You've now been on the island a few days between magical means and your basic, like, natural know-how. You've been able to figure out which is best to eat, what's better than to keep for longer days, so on and so forth. So you have your pick. And
Oh, I think I remember us looking for a snake to eat. Because I think, if I remember correctly, I think Sif mentioned something about maybe eating snake or something. Hmm.
How about if you saw something that might be worthy of a offering to Zoltek to continue our keeping him in a happy set, pretty much.
Oh, no. I don't find anything like that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
unfortunately not. Kovash, Dikuth?
Aren't we foraging?
I mean, Jelenith is pretty, like, this is where we've been gathering stuff, and it takes you, like, maybe 10 minutes. Most of it was walking to the spot.
So I guess it would depend what's going on in camp when we get back.
Sure, we'll get back to that. So,
I was scanning the trees, I think, though, looking for signs of what's his face.
yeah, right. I believe I took perception checks from everyone last game before we left off. So, is there anything any of you at the camp would like to do as their journey on their way back to y'all?
Well, I'm just watching them argue over a helmet, so no, I'm good.
I mean, yeah, Katra, if you look back, you notice that the, like, dust is now settling in front of the pyramid. Most of them, if not all of them, seem to be gone. It seems like there are a few bodies on the ground.
Katra will start like getting mobilizing people to like start packing up camp and everything. also, he will check the clay hand.
Okay. Yeah, it's worked relatively well, actually. The helmet did its job and created an intense heat barrier for the clay to harden overnight.
I will, I guess, stow the helmet and then like affix the clay hand onto my shoulder and start directing people to tear down camp.
Okay. Yeah, Bjolf. Sif.
Sif.
And
will
he
take.
kind of looks at
Yep.
Kat and is like, are you not going to help us? Are you just going to stand there and give directions?
No, he helps,
Okay.
but it's very hurried. Like in a like we got to get it done like 20 minutes ago.
And you still don't say why.
And Sif will be
I
will look
definitely
at you.
said why.
Sif will definitely look at you while he's putting on the his armor and say, "If you help me for about 5 minutes, I can help a lot quicker."
And he does.
All right, so you guys are putting Sif's armor on and getting ready.
And I'm gonna help you
At this
take
time, that's what's happening when you guys arrive. Sif and Katra are finishing up putting on Sif's armor. Bjolf has pretty much done all of the work of putting up camp at this point, and is looking pretty pissed off. Oh no, I guess Bromley and Booker stayed with, so yeah, they would have helped you, Bjolf, so it wasn't too terrible. But you still feel some type of way that the 3 crew members got to pick up everybody else's shit.
Yeah.
I helped.
Sif, after being armored, is gonna go over and kind of like take some of the packs and such from Bjorn and start getting them under the horse.
Alright.
Hey guys.
Hi.
We got
Why are you
food.
guys packing up?
Because
Yeah, we got-
Yeah, let's.
Apparently
We just
Kat
got
has
breakfast.
found something and he has not told us what it is yet. Or at least not.
I told you there was half animal people over there, and they were looking. They were charging.
Kovash looks that way.
We all just slowly turn our head to look at that
You
direction.
look over in that direction, and now at this point you see just
I mean, they're gone now.
at the edge of most of your vision, besides the elven people, there is like a couple of dead humanoid bodies at the base of where you guys would go up for the temple.
That's new.
I told you. So we were packing up camp so we could leave when you guys get here.
Dikuth, spread this food out real quick. Just like nuts and stuff here, so I guess you're not getting roasted nuts for breakfast, guys.
Why
And
would
I
you
The kid
spread out
who has
nuts?
like one handful of berries in his hand.
I'm
And
sorry.
then Jellen's just gonna walk over slowly, stealthily, and examine the path leading up to the dead bodies.
Guys, they definitely seem like they had more intelligence than an animal. I don't think they're just gonna get distracted by food scattered on the ground.
Do you have anything specific that we would want to maybe ask these people?
Out of curiosity, why do you think they had more intelligence than an animal?
Because animals don't wage war the same way that humanoids do.
Those hunt in packs.
Yes, but not with sticks and tools.
What's that?
Kovash wouldn't know that, so he's not saying anything.
Bromley would say, but they have claws and teeth. They don't need tools.
It's not the claws and it's the using tools marks intelligence. Humans have teeth and claws too. They choose to use them.
I got a buddy back home. He can use tools. He's fucking dumb, mate.
Bjolf goes. How close are the corpses?
Already
Half a mile away.
Okay. I would like to make my way to one of them,
Alright.
and I would like to cut off its head and then just kind of.
All right, let's get there first. Let's get there first. All right. So as you and Jonathan begin creeping off, you guys can give me stealth checks. Anyone who's following would like to as well.
We're still moving up camp.
Oh, why?
Oof.
Amazing.
Let me see if there's a better. I don't think they have a better one, which is so lame.
Why is Daniel coming? Why is Dikuth coming with us?
Why
He has all the
not?
food.
I'm not sad about it. Team Dikuth.
Team Dikuth.
Did Dikuth just sneak?
Dikuth is sneaking up with like his shirt, with like a pile of berries in his shirt. He's kind of crab walking along.
Help
I said,
fight that man.
I said to give the food to everybody else in the camp. Why do you have the food with us?
Do you want any berries, Johnny?
Sure, I'll have some berries. And I'll grab like a small handful.
Does anybody else want any berries? Bjolf, do you want berries?
Yes, I would like some berries. I rolled a 5.
Here, take the berries.
I take some berries and eat them. Because I've had such good luck with eating random fruit on this island.
And
Wow.
Dikuth kind of waddles back to the group.
Flash points at Sif and goes, "Your head's not protected."
Sif just fell down the side of the mountain, by the way. Just so you know. I'm just kidding.
What mountain?
He made one and fell off it. That's how bad his stealth roll was.
Yep.
Ooh.
I like crashed and broke the ground a little bit.
So Kovash, are you staying behind or are you not stealthing?
Flash was not following. No.
Okay. And Katra is staying behind as well. Alright. So, Jonathan, Dikuth, Bjolf, and Sif, you all begin making your way down the slight hill that you are on into this valley where this ruined city has been built. You begin picking your way through the odd assortment of paths that you had taken previously, as you remember that pretty much as soon as you stepped foot in, a giant crack in the earth opened up and it goes past into the village. So are you splitting up or are you all taking the same path? Or what? You all split up last time, so
I suggest single file behind each other, about roughly 3 to 4 feet apart, just to spread out the weight. We don't want to further spread this collapse or cause another collapse, and I think all of us together was too much weight and caused the collapse.
and when you say that, you stop kind of, and Bjolf and Sif literally just poof into each other behind you, clang, 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 as you stop to turn around, and you're like,
Single
Oh,
file.
Sif. Do you want some berries?
Wait, does this
Sif
mean
reaches out a hand.
we have all the breakfast food and none of it got? No, Kovash has some. Kovash grabbed some of the food, I think. Maybe.
Kovash was kind of distracted.
Well, I guess camp people are gonna be eating rations then.
alright.
Single file, 3 to 4 feet apart. All right. And I'm gonna lead around the collapse.
Okay. Pretty easy. You like I said once again, you've pretty much been through this area once, twice. Now this is your third time. It's becoming kind of a habit now. You're picking up the natural rhythm of getting over and through these ruined buildings that seem to hold ancient life pretty much preserved as it was. As you still see, like the buildings have tables with like old dried food on it and knocked over dishes, and all that. And once again, all these amazing art pieces that are in like almost every home as you begin going through. And it takes you roughly 20 minutes to get around and back onto the path. And you get to like, I want to say 250 feet before you get like good eyes on the corpse. And it's not a corpse. You still see him kind of crawling, like trying to pull himself, and like you see a long blood trail behind him. As from a distance, you couldn't tell he was pulling himself along.
This guy is persistent. Full human, or is it half human, half dog head?
He's got an eagle head on.
Eagle head. Quick perception to look around and see if there's anybody
Go ahead and give me a
that I can
perception
see
check.
besides our group and the.
All right. Yeah. No. It seems like there's two other eagle head bodies that don't seem to be moving, and from what you can tell, the war drums have stopped, and you don't hear much else or see much else.
I wanna go up behind the guy. I take some of the blood that he's kind of like smeared on the ground, and I like go up to him. If I see any wounds, I take the blood and I like press it over, and I cast a first level cure wounds on him.
Okay.
I just keep an eye open for any kind of incoming arrows or anything like that.
Well, as you
I'm a guard
approach
dog, that's
Beowulf,
Beowulf.
he notices you immediately, and at this point he's like struggling to breathe, and he just takes his head off, it revealing a human underneath. He's a full human. It seemed to be some sort of helmet he was wearing, an immaculately carved eagle helm, and he's this young man, black hair, like tanned, thick, leathery like skin, very musculature. It seems like his legs aren't moving at all, as he's got a thick black hafted arrow directly in his spine, and he's slowly like trying to crawl away, and he notices you, and as he's like in the process of pulling his helmet up as he does, and you just see immediate fear in his eyes on your presence, like at your presence, and he just starts like trying to crawl away even faster. And as you like, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I grab onto him.
Yeah, as you approach and like pick up your speed and like kind of grab onto like his leather trousers, you break the haft of the arrow off and begin like forming some of the blood around it, and like the skin starts to regrow up and then down as it pushes the arrow through him, and you have to lift him up as you watch the arrowhead push out the other side, and you use the original blood that you had picked up to come and like start forming more flesh on his stomach. Go ahead and roll your hit points.
Yeah. Ooh, hold on. Hey.
I will say in Maztikan while she's doing this. In Maztikan, calm down, soldier. We're gonna get you out of here.
Did you approach?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was approaching
Okay,
with him. I was
okay.
just keeping an eye out on the horizon for any kind of like arrows coming in or potential enemies.
Sure. You and then Dikuth with his berries in his shirt like this.
As Beowulf is doing this, I'm whispering like, "Hey, do you want berries?"
To me?
So, like, you grab on and you
Him.
finish this healing spell, and he kind of... and he immediately begins rattling at you, Beowulf, as in this other language that you don't understand, and he's chittering extremely fast to the point that you're just like, I don't know. And, Jonathan... yeah, you assume it's Maztikan. It sounds like what Jonathan has been speaking. And, like, Jonathan, you walk up and you hear him begin speaking and talking, and he's thanking her and apologizing. It's odd the language seems the same, but it might have like evolved from the form you know. It seems that there's some extra additions at like changes to the way he says words. You're not quite sure fully what he's always saying, but it's very similar, and you can kind of drag the meaning from it. But it seems like he says, "Oh, thank you. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was left here. The black stag, he's hunting us all." And he like sees the no like recognition in your eyes, and he's like,
Uh,
Stiff
I look
looks
over-
back.
I look
It
over
looks
at
back.
Jonathan.
Stiff looks back towards the direction they came from, and just you can kind of see his stoic head just kind of staring in that direction with a shake going up through his head before he kind of turns back, keeping a rock hard face, lips sealed.
Let us get you. I will say, Ms. Tegan, let us get you into
Oh.
a safe zone,
he,
then we'll talk some more.
he
And I
looks
say,
o-
Bjorf, can you carry him?
he looks over to Jonathan, who's now he actually heard you say something over his. Oh, someone, you speak my language. Thank you. We have to get out of here. He's gonna be coming back.
Yeah, we're working on it. Bjorf, we're gonna need to carry him, kind of, at least out of this area for now, and then we'll recollect on information. But
You
apparently
watch
he's being
as
hunted
you
by
watch
the
as
black
he
stag.
stands up, and he like starts stretching his like legs and everything.
I look over at Jonathan. I'm like, look, he's fine.
Wow, your cure wounds heals apparently like broken legs.
Well, I thank you guys for that, but let's go. Do you have a camp?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, come with us. We'll. And then actually just quickly, real quick, I will wipe down his blood so that way he's not leaving any kind of trail.
You notice that
So I'll
most
wipe
of
out-
it has been used in the spell work. It seems that nothing goes to
Oh.
waste with Bjolf's spells.
Who needs prestidigitation? We can just cure wounds. Hey, Ketchup. Okay, follow us. We'll get you back to our camp.
Yeah.
Single file, guys. Let's go.
So you
And I
all
lead the way.
begin. You all begin. Are you going back towards your just where you were? Then it'll go ahead and give me another stealth check, everybody. I'll get this guy going.
So I'm not gonna bring him all the way back to our camp. I'm actually gonna bring him to the bottom of the hill from when we entered, just before
Okay.
that cave-in.
Are you kidding me?
Come on!
Come on, Bio.
What is this?
Roll 20 rolling capabilities, they suck. I'm
Bio's
Jonathan.
stealth is so bad that I
No, I have
disappeared.
one
She has
plus
no
two.
idea what happened.
It's not heat. It's not that. It's like a +2. It's not even that bad.
So what I'll say happens is, Jonathan takes off, and you see the man immediately go into this like extremely stealthy posture and follows right after, like step for step. Bjolf goes to do the same, and this time blood is a hindrance as he goes straight ass over tea kettle, just poof, in a loud crash on this stonework in a heap. Yeah, pretty much.
Sif will help Bjolf up.
I
As
do not accept that help.
I just pick you up by the jerkin. No, I was kidding.
so you all begin making your way back. Bjolf a little bit less, faster. It takes you roughly the same time. It seems that he's able to pick out like places he knows very easily, and like is diving through windows and going through like other houses that you haven't like even explored, and he meets you out on the other side faster. It seems like he must be in this ruins a lot. And he's sitting waiting on the other side of this other house as you come out, and where next? As you're now out of the ruined village, basically.
All right. So before we go back to our actual camp, Why don't you tell us what's going on?
I. What do you mean? What's going on? I don't know. The dog men suddenly got a new leader, and now everything dies.
It's a hunt. A human hunt.
Dog man. So there are. Okay. So first of all, there are people on this island. That's good to know.
Yes, I am people, right? He like looks at all of you. You look similar to him. He's like got massive adrenaline. Like he's really worried. He's got like fear in his eyes. You keep watching him as his eyes keep darting to the northerners of the group.
Why do you keep looking at them
He's
like that?
anticipating you guys killing him.
Sif will say it outright.
they
and
look
say,
like him.
because we share our home with this black stag.
You have no idea what I'm saying because this is all Maztican.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Excuse me.
They look like him.
I point to Beowulf and then this these guys? These two look like the Black Stag or the
And
dog
he
man?
lifts a hand at Kovash.
Oh,
Dash on top of the hill?
It's a hill. It's not a mountain. Like you said, it's like 20 feet up.
I mean, I also thought our camp was well hidden and hard to see, though.
From half a mile away.
We're good.
I can guarantee you that they will not kill you. Well, I can guarantee you these two, I point to Beowulf and Sif, will not kill you. I don't know about that guy at the top of the hill, but he's pretty tame.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about
You
it.
don't understand what I'm saying.
I know. Sorry.
And then I will talk to you guys. So apparently, you guys look like this Black Stag character, who is apparently the new leader of the Dogmen, who are now just killing all the Eagle folks. I turn back around. Are there only just Eaglemen and Dogmen, or are there other sects?
Yes, there are. We aren't called eagle folk. I don't. Well, he literally says eagle out loud as there's not a direct translation for it. And you all hear this weird eagle sound come out. And he says they are the dog people. They are actually called the North Ones, but they have no longer fully human, I believe. And then there is us, the Green Folk, and then there is the next
Wait,
alliance,
the what?
the Green
The-
Folk.
The Green Folk.
Yes. And then there are the Nexalons and the Pites.
Okay. What animals, or what is their animal icon?
The Pites don't have an animal icon. They separated it from. Are you sure I have to tell you this right here? Like, this is a long history of peoples. I
Well, I
don't
just wanna make
necessarily
sure
feel
that you're
safe.
not- I just want to make sure that you're not gonna lead our group to being killed. That's all.
I wasn't going to lead you anywhere.
Well, I also want to make sure we don't bring anybody that can kill our group. But everything seems to suss out. So we're gonna climb up this hill.
He stops and listens for a moment. Oh. It probably doesn't matter anyways.
Doesn't matter anyways.
The drums have stopped.
Okay. What does that mean?
They caught their prey.
Are you not part of their prey?
I was I was protecting our leader.
Okay.
And he just like starts trudging up the hill anyways. Like you just see him immediately shoulders downtrodden and head down like
And I will relay to the
John.
guys, to the gang with me. So apparently, he is part of the green folks. They have apparently green folks and dog folks were potentially together as society, but the dog folks got a new leader. There's now new leaders killing all of them, and we're hunting down the green folks leader.
Why
And
was he
Oh
pointing
no.
at Kovash?
and the drums have stopped now because apparently they have captured the green folks leader.
Why was he pointing at Kovash?
Because apparently the black stag, the leader of the dog folks, looks like Kovash.
Kovash said last night that there was someone he knew here. Might want to ask him about it.
Hearing that, Kovash turns to the guy
When did he say
and
that?
just says, "Take me to them."
and he just looks at you.
Kovash screams in his face and repeats himself.
And he just darts off into the forest.
Kovash chases it.
Oh,
What's going
man.
on?
Alright. You watch as the man you'd been talking to literally like doesn't really understand what Kovash is saying to him in another language, and then Kovash screams in his face, and he takes off, and then Kovash follows after.
Should we?
Yeah, give me initiative, please.
Ah,
I don't have a token.
Kovash doesn't
I
know
don't
these
need the
forests very
tokens.
well.
I just need Kovash, unless you're taking off after.
Maybe.
Give me a perception check first.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Understand that I am not with you, and you do not know this forest, so you will probably be traveling at a difficult terrain speed.
Alright, also Kovash, give me a survival check. No, first give me a perception check too, actually. Okay.
Question. Do they actually make it into the forest?
Yeah, I mean, your camp is literally surrounded by, like, the jungle.
Can I get a quote-unquote reaction since I nat 20'd my initiative?
Well, here's the deal. You don't see him. Like, you see him hit the jungle, and he just basically, like, disappears from your sight. Even your natural, like, eye line, like, he just turned, and you don't see him anymore.
I was gonna ask if I could stop him from hitting the jungle.
He was basically there already. It wasn't like he had to move at all.
It would have been a spell.
I mean, yeah, but he basically took a turn already. Like, they both took a full movement of running. So, like, I have to, whoa. Sorry.
We are not burning this forest down to find one man.
Viewers. No, so unfortunately, it looks like he gets out ahead of you, Kovash, and, like, he's moving pretty quickly through the forest, and you're able to keep sight of him, but it's like he's weaving in and out of trees, and he's very good at staying hidden from you in these jungles. So are you using your full movement again? You're probably not going to catch up
Kovash
to
would
him.
dash.
Yeah, you're probably not going to catch up to him.
Kovash doesn't
Did I
care.
not get my turn?
1 second, Steven.
Oh, okay.
That's all you're doing?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay,
that's
then yeah,
action.
Steven. You saw them take off into the woods. What are you doing?
Casting Fly and Follow.
All right. Give me a dexterity check as you enter the jungles at disadvantage.
I can't fly above the jungle.
All right, you could, but then you lose sight of him.
I guess it is dense. I guess it's dense.
So yeah, it's easy enough once you're flying. You're able to make your way, but you see them up ahead of you. It seems like Kovash is like getting caught with trees and unable to move his way, whereas this other man is just ducking and diving, weaving and waving. Now that you've gotten flight, you didn't see him until he actually broke tree cover, or tree line, and has dodged and weaved, and now you're starting to actually like pick him up. All right, and then
Is he on the ground or is he like in the trees?
he's on the ground. And then I assume you cast a spell, use your movement, and then use your movement again. So you're basically how much is flight?
60, I think. I could double check.
Yeah, you're basically like right above him, if not slightly behind him, at this point.
It's 60.
Yeah, if you've used But that's everything now, and you're above him. And he's gonna run slightly further, so you fall behind slightly, Steven. Kovash, you now see Katra come like rocketing out of the jungle treetops, and he's ducking, weaving in and out of the tree line. He does seem to have like an eye line on the man. Are you still?
Kovash moves his movement. I don't think he's gonna dash
Alright.
Saint Katra. He does keep bellowing like,
Right.
"Come back, take me to him."
Okay. All right, Katra. Yeah, you see absolute fear in this man's eyes as you hear Kovash just crashing through the forest for another 40 feet, yelling at this man.
Question: Can I get can I fly ahead of him?
Yeah, at this
Or-
point now.
So I will fly ahead of him and cut him off and like hold up my hands and be like, whoa, like calm down, what's going on? Does he respond?
He's just jittering in another language you don't understand. This entire time he's been running, he's basically been talking in another language.
I am going to like offer him my hand, like peacefully. Does he take it?
Slightly looks over his shoulder at the charging barbarian. No, he does not.
And so then I will give me 1 second.
Jelen probably gets to the top of the hill at this point. Is like, what just happened?
I'm gonna motion for Kovac to like stop with my hand, and I'm going to prepare an action.
Okay.
I'm casting a spell, and Psych JK. I don't think I have the components for that spell. So I'm gonna stand there and I'm going to stand there and I'm just gonna be like hold on, like hold my hands out in front of me, like just chill out. Let's talk about
Give
what's
me
going
a
on here.
persuasion check at disadvantage. Because you're not speaking the same language. And Kovash. That's not bad. I don't know, something about what you say and how you say it in another language. He seems to slow down, stop. His breathing is still accelerated, and he's still got fear in his eyes, but he doesn't seem to be moving at this moment.
I'm going to like put myself between him and Kovash.
And he like keeps his like back away from you, like keeping his eye on all of you, basically. All right, the initiative basically drops then, I guess. And Kovash, you make your way up to them. Are you still screaming?
I didn't want to hurt him. I just want him to take me to the leader.
Yeah, but Kovash, you can't yell at somebody who just like randomly appears out of the brush. Like
You
I don't
may not be able to. I
no,
definitely can.
I don't know social cues like that, but I know that you can't just yell at someone that you meet for the first time.
I think I just did.
And that's why we're in this situation.
Sorry.
So, if you want to go back to camp, calm down, and talk to him like a normal person, that's something you can do.
I mean, I tried talking to him like a normal person and he ignored me. I
No,
screamed.
yelled at him.
No, I spoke at him and
You
he
yelled.
ignored me and then I yelled at him.
And you just hear from behind you,
How do
like,
even speak the same language.
you just hear like another series of watabadu, like a whole nother language being spoken behind you in a questioning tone, like looking around.
Did Kovash try to like pantomime leader? Like,
Performance
Also-
check?
Yeah, how would Don in real life pantomime leader?
Do it.
like I
Dad.
just did. Take
What?
me to your leader.
What?
It's a process here.
Take.
That's 2 fingers. Like a crown. I don't know.
What if their leader doesn't wear a crown?
Do like antlers.
Most leaders wear some kind of headgear, Katra.
Yeah, the antlers.
Not true.
stupid.
Some leaders have like
I didn't hear that or see that.
Truth. So he just like leans around. I mean, give me a performance check on then Kovash to see how well he understands. Oh my god!
Natural one with a -2.
And you just see the biggest look of confusion as Kovash is take me to your leader, and he's just like.
I want you to know, even Catch is like, what the fuck? And, like, you're speaking this in the same language.
Yeah, I just literally picture now the guy leaning out and then even Katra leaning over, like, what? Yeah, so he's utterly confused now. He does relax a bit as he's just like, what?
So, you want someone who you just met and yelled at to do a favor for you and take them to their leader.
I want him to take me to the person who looks like me.
And he would do this,
He
why?
said that's the leader.
Has
But
the
he would do
rest
this,
of us caught up with
why?
him?
I don't know.
Oh,
It
you
seems
guys
like
take
you
off?
guys,
I'm
like,
sorry, I
they
missed
saved
that.
his life.
Have the rest of us caught up at this point, or are they just standing in the middle of the woods talking?
I feel like that's an assumption that we can't make.
Hold on. I didn't know. Did anybody else take off after them?
Not that I'm aware.
I mean, we didn't run after them.
Yeah,
but at this point, we
Dikuth
tried to
fell
catch
and
Would you like to go after them?
his berries.
up.
I mean, I could have said that you guys started going earlier, like, and would be arriving soon. It wouldn't be quite yet, but yeah.
We're also only like 150 feet.
Exactly. You're not far, and with Jelenith, you can make it there really soon. So, like,
Right.
Well, we
Wait,
have to track you now because we have no idea where
no,
the
you
woods you
don't.
ran into.
No, you don't. Kovash was
None of us
screaming.
stealth.
Kovash was also screaming for the last 30 seconds. So yeah, in fact, as you guys are saying this, Jellenith is just like walking around a tree like, guys. As you guys all proceed to show up with Kovash using hand motions and you're just like, take 2, lead, and both Katra and the man are just utterly confused.
Yo, did you know that Kovash dance?
You know,
But that's not a dance.
I don't think he should quit his day job, whatever it is.
Hey, if you guys are done yelling, you want to come back to the camp, and then we can talk, and not yell.
And the man looks to you, Jelena, and he says in Mazdekan, are you sure this barbarian isn't going to kill me? He literally screamed at me as soon as I showed my face. And then chased me through the jungles. And then you sent a guy who could fly?
We didn't send anybody. That was his own choice. I don't want to make promises I can't
Jelena,
keep.
tell him to take me to the leader.
I can guarantee you that he will probably not kill you.
That's not the greatest guarantee.
Jelena, tell him to take us to the leader of the dog people.
Okay, right now, Kovash, you are scaring him, so I'm gonna ask you to step back this way.
Kovash does not.
All right, so we need to. We are up here. We need to come down here first, alright, guys?
So, DM, question. How do you feel about using powder jewels versus whole jewels for spells?
Well, I suppose it depends, because I believe there are certain spells that require, diamond dust, specifically.
Well, the spell that I'm looking for, it requires ruby dust, but I don't have ruby dust. I have a pouch with precious gems, which I assume has rubies in it. But I don't have specific ruby dust.
I think you have to pulverize them to use them in that spell.
Yeah, it's like a square and a rectangle. You can go one way, but not the other way around. So, the dust can be used for spells that require dust and the normal format, but dust-specific spells require dust.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was the other way around, you'd be fine, but this particularly, you need it. So yeah.
All right.
Anything else for you, Katra? Or was that it?
Oh, no.
Are you still standing there, in front of him, confused as all hell, too?
I 100% am.
Excellent.
And I will just be like, so, Kovash, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know that I'm not the best with social stuff either, but Kovash definitely just started yelling at him, and he was like, I asked him a question, but he never responded, so I yelled at him, but the rest of us just saw yelling. So I'm assuming that he's super freaked out, because honestly, if Kovash was yelling at me, I'd be super freaked out too. So I was gonna say that Kovash probably should disengage, because Kovash wants something from the stranger who we just met, who came out of the forest that he just yelled at, and is probably not gonna get it because he just yelled at a stranger.
Yeah. So how about we all go back to camp? We'll get a little something to drink, day
Do you have
drinking. I guess
water?
that's the thing people do.
Do you have any
We have
water?
water.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we have water. So how about we'll go back to the camp, Kovash about roughly 40 feet ahead of us.
Give me a perception check, Bjolf.
Me?
Yep.
I could fly him back to camp apart from Kovash.
It's fine. Because it's pretty noticeable regardless. I wasn't looking that high. you're kind of paying attention, and in the middle of hearing this man speak another language, you hear a familiar word, or at least the form of it. Shar.
Yelaneth. What did he just say?
Thank God.
Thank God. Whoever his God is, he said, thank God.
I kind of like my eyes just kind of lock on him, and I say in Undercommon, "You follow her."
And you see his like ears perk up, but he doesn't like know where it's coming from. Like he can't seem to like trace it to you. And he just nods his head, and he like is looking around.
He can't see me.
It's not that he doesn't see you. It's that he doesn't notice that you're saying something to him right now. It's odd. It's like you're saying something, and it's just not catching his attention in a way that it draws you to him to you. He's still looking for the source of the voice, but it's not you. He's not connecting it to you for some reason.
That's
All right, so let's get back to the camp. We'll get everybody something to drink.
All right, so you all begin making your way back to your camp. Pretty easily. It wasn't that far off. Jelanith is right there now and leads you back pretty quickly. Booker and Bromley are all like following you back and forth now. Are we good here, or we didn't get any loot? What's going on?
Definitely still need to move camp.
So we found this guy. He's kind of the last of his group. Apparently his people were being hunted by another group who was led by the Black Stag, who apparently looks like Kovash.
Who are you doing that stealthily?
Nope.
You all are watching now is heading back towards where the bodies are.
He's walking down the hill?
Kovash is, yes, walking down the hill back towards the bodies. I think
He's not doing
your
it stealthily.
I think your mad crazy man is leaving.
let him go.
Yep. That's kind of what he does.
I'm okay with letting him walk away with that one.
I feel a little safer.
Hey, Sif. You want to go keep an eye on him?
Does anyone want to keep an eye on him?
I would. Oh wait, Kovash? Never mind.
See what I mean?
Sif, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I just wasn't picking you up, I guess, for a little bit.
I haven't had any single need to talk.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, he's still very much looking at Sif and Beowulf, like bouncing between them very often. He doesn't seem quite comfortable at this point. He has sat down and his breathing is slowed, and he's like trying to fix a strap of his armor on his legs that seems to have broken.
As he's kind of going and doing that, Sif will kind of go over by him, pull out a piece of ration, kind of offer it to him, and then he's just gonna start working to help reattach the leather and such.
I couldn't eat a thing, but
Not even really.
Oh,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I couldn't eat a thing, but if you have water, he says to you in another language.
He's saying that he's not hungry, but he could use a drink.
Sif kind of looks over to Jelanith and then back to him, and he's gonna like take motion with a ration and like take a bite, like look like he's taking a bite, and then stop, and then take like a motion like he's taking a drink of water from a cup, and just kind of nod as he's doing the cup motion again.
Good thing he's not.
Basically, trying to confirm if he needs something to drink.
Because I totally.
Yes, he wants to. He nods as you're drinking, and like
Biff offers him his water
opens
again.
his you just watch him like just start gulping greedily.
I speak again in Undercommon, and I say, of the Northmen, the one with the dark paint across his eyes you don't need to fear. Tell me of the temple and the corruption that lies inside of it.
Give me a persuasion check. You all see him kind of look down for a moment and begin gathering his thoughts. I don't know much. You see, what is your name, Elf?
Elf?
He's looking at Jelena.
My name is Jalina. You may call me Jel, for short.
Ah, I am Chimali. And what that means in my language, it means that I am the shield to a beautiful princess. Her name, oh Jesus. When you accidentally refresh page, there we go. Her name is Metzli. So, did I type out his name for you? Yep. Alright, so.
Yep, you did that. Princess name? What?
I couldn't hear you if you were talking.
Oh, no. You're good. And it was my job to protect the princess of the night. And I have failed, obviously, as well as my brothers and my sisters. I don't know much, is what I'm trying to say. I've been trained in warfare, not much of this cursed nature. That's what the princess is for. But, from my knowledge, there was a war of the gods. And not just...
I'm translating all of this.
I figured. And not just a war that has been marked by the passage of time with God against God, but this was pantheon against pantheon.
Oh shit.
And for eons it raged, with avatars and gods vying for place and their point in the destiny under the Great One. And years passed and domination was established for several pantheons between several gods, including the goddess of the night, who claimed Mastika as her home. However, some corruption has seeped deep into the very earth itself and has denied us our religious practices and powers between our God. This, and he literally turns to the village, is my home. I'm not even allowed here anymore. To be in the presence of this temple makes me feel very pain in my very soul. Not to mention that we are now all hunted to extinction by the Black Stag.
Where is this supposed to protect.
I translate.
No. I'm saying that if I'm
Oh,
speaking with
an
black,
uncommon?
Yeah.
uncommon, so he.
Okay.
So yeah, for you, Jonathan, it just kind of seems like he's coming unprompted from this. Like he doesn't seem to be connecting. Like you hear Bjolf speaking another language, to which he's like looking around but answering to you in Mastican. So it seems a little unprompted as he just keeps like. She's in the central northern part of Mastika. We have her hidden away, but if they captured the war parties, they're probably using the dog people's magic to extract the information from my leader.
How long has the Black Stag been here?
A couple of 6 months, half a year.
Did I understand it that we're in the middle of a holy war?
Yep. Pantheon versus Pantheon.
What
Apparently.
sort of magic do the dog people have?
Well, they're mostly from the north, far north of Mastika in the deserts. It's called the Sand of Itzkala. And this makes them so hardy that they don't even feel pain. But that is the least among our worries. It's come to our attention that they are no longer just embodying the animals they wear, but they are forming themselves into actual curses of the animals they wear.
So I stick around on the island?
I don't think they have a way of leaving.
Where would we go?
I mean, there are a lot of lands out there.
Would they accept us?
I mean,
Hell yeah.
Would
Took us
they
2
accept
weeks
our
to get
way
here.
of living?
with supplies. So what does
Don't know.
the Black Stag want exactly?
I guess that's the question.
Do you know?
He just kind of showed up one day, forced his way into the dog people. He's not the dog person. He's not the North one. He's not from Mastika. You will notice this. His skin is pale as ice, and his ears are black, or ear is black. It's odd. It's disgusting.
I look over at Kobash and I say, I think it's time for you to explain to us who this man is.
Kobash isn't there.
Yeah, remember Kovacs walked down the
Right.
hill and
Hey,
he's literally walking into the open area of the village where we found the guy originally.
He likes to
But
personally hunt and skin people alive.
do you think if we destroyed the corruption in the temple, it would help your people defeat him?
At this point, probably not. We are but the shadow of ourselves. Maybe a few hundred, maybe less now.
What
Can I-
can what can we do?
How does okay, 2-part question I guess. Are you aware of the entity named Zoltek?
You're asking him?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think is Zoltek's opinion of this war that's happening right now? You think he cares who would win in this war?
And you see his like mouth kind of fall open, and he's like, I dare not blaspheme. That is not for me to say the will of one of our lower gods.
So anonymous Tegan, I come up with this idea. All right, guys. So here's what I think. If we remove this corruption, that would, in theory, well, I don't know if it'll give us a favor with Zoltek. I don't know if he would see it that way, but if we remove the corruption, we could potentially plea or convince Zoltek to help remove the Black Stag from this war. I'm not saying to win or finish the war for them. That is not our place. But the Black Stag is an anomaly that's involved here.
And I'm not saying no. I'm saying we could leverage Zoltek against the stag, get rid of the stag, strike a deal with Zoltek, and then use the island as a base.
2 weeks away from Faerun.
I'm hearing blah blah blah. No one from Faerun's coming here.
At this point, it's actually kind of at the sound of this plan has since kind of stood up and is kind of stepped away from the guy, but he's kind of resting up against the side of a tree or a hut, and he kind of
Plus, if we fall in with the natives, like, we have friends.
Well, Chamali?
Jamali.
Well, Chamali,
Like,
we have a task that we need to take care of first before we can even think about doing anything else.
you could bring him along.
Okay. I mean, I appreciate you saving my life. If there's anything I could do for you, just let me know.
Chamali, you said that you are the shield, right?
I mean, that's what Chimali means. Shield in my language.
Okay. How would you like to be the shield to your people? Not just the princess.
I mean, it would be an honor if there was anything left. I am telling you that when the stag eradicates a village, it's gone. And when the war drums stop, after they've started, it's done. I have no
So
hope
you're
left.
So you're saying you're the last one of your kind?
Probably.
That seems really depressive, guys.
Well then, Chamali, you and I are the same, as far as I'm aware.
And he looks up at you. What do you mean? I know many elves.
Yes, but not my kind of elf. I do not believe my home exists anymore, or at least not here. So as far as I'm aware, I am the last of my kind here as well. But
'Tis a sad fate.
it is honor and our duty that binds us to our people. And that's what's going to keep our people alive. And as of right now, you are still alive, so you still have honor and duty bind to your people. And right now, the corruption that's in this temple has plagued your people for years and aeons.
I'm sorry, I just looked at stream chat.
I thought the last of the Maztekans.
I just saw it too.
I'm so
Oh.
sorry, Kevin. Give me a persuasion check, please, before we lose it. Oh man, that was. Oh, I'm actually got tears in my eyes right now. Like that was so funny. I couldn't even hold it together. I had to like.
Shoot. Shoot.
Oh no.
Hey, attaboy.
And you see. Laughed in the nose. That's amazing. And you see him like as you begin talking, he like starts slowly nodding with you, and agreeing. And you're right. If anything, I should at least serve vengeance for my people, and bring out this evil of this land, especially the evil that is the Black Stag, or at least die trying.
Well,
But
not die trying.
unfortunately, you kind of dragged me away from all of my weapons.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Don't
we
worry.
can outfit
We
you
got
with
this.
something.
I'm pretty sure we can outfit you with whatever we got here.
Alright.
But we need to go into that temple first and remove the corruption.
Alright.
And with that, I think we can gain the
Guys, don't
I
be
think we
mad.
can gain the favor of Zoltek. And with that favor, you could use that to remove the Black Stag. Potentially.
Guys, don't be mad. While we were looking at our equipment to out-equip Chamali, I just remembered that I have a wand of magic missiles.
So all of those spells that you have missed in the past month could have been taken care of with this wand of magic missile.
We'll let you guys deal with that. Kovash, as you're standing there, you found the blood splattered black arrow that Bjolf had broken and left behind after pulling it out of Chamali. And you find several other scattered arrows and weapons that are of the Maztecan make. Those have taken the other corpses. The other corpses seem very similar to the man, similarly dressed, similarly helmed, similar wounds. You do find dozens and dozens and dozens of tracks, and as you're looking through them, you do notice the one heavier, much bigger set. And as you're kind of just standing there, walking around, looking at these things, give me a perception check.
Now's when I stop rolling good on my perceptions.
Hey.
You do hear marched footsteps. Like a column of people marching.
Can I tell where
It's coming off from around like the other side of the temple where you see the tracks leading off.
Kovash isn't sneaky, but I think he might be stupid here.
All right.
Kovash starts following the tracks.
Oh shit. Okay, so Kovash, you dive off immediately off into like these bushes and into this building that's got like a lower half torn out, and you're able to roll in and kind of get up against the wall because immediately there are soldiers marching around this temple as you began moving, and you see them. They're all these dog-headed men, and as you look closer, several of them have elongated claws, and their legs have started turning. It seems like their feet are indeed paws, and fur has started growing up their legs. They seem larger than their compatriots, but they're marching in line. And at the end, behind all of them, slowly marching behind, keeping pace, looking at something he has in his hands, which you immediately deduce is a large patch of skin of some kind. He's running his finger through it, not really paying attention. What are you gonna do?
How far behind them is he?
Maybe 10 yards, 10 feet, not far. He's literally keeping the column paced. Like imagine twin set Roman lines.
I'm also not gonna be good at this, so I'll probably fail. Can I throw the broken arrow piece and try and like hit him in the shoulder as he walks by?
Sure. Give me a dex check. Yeah, easily enough. It's Beowulf actually broke it off that perfectly that the arrowhead side is like balanced to be like a throwing knife. And like you thunk, and like it doesn't penetrate his armor or anything obviously, but it does poink off his shoulder and he immediately like are you doing anything else? Are you taking off or
I imagine you lose stealth when you make a quote unquote attack. So I imagine that like I was poking my head over the wall, and as he turns and locks eyes with me, I drop.
Okay.
After I give him a smile.
Alright. So let me do this. As soon as like the stick hits, you see Blackear turn immediately to you. His eyes lock with yours immediately through the stag helm. And you just hear this as he keeps marching with the rest of his crew.
I'll let him go for now.
Oh, you let him go? Uh-huh.
You let them walk by. They keep going. It takes about 10 minutes for them to fully get like out of sight, and you see him drop the patch of skin immediately where the dead body was, or the presumed dead body of Kumali. And then you see him disappear.
I'm gonna take the skin as I start heading back to camp.
Ugh.
Alright. You
Run
see.
into Dikuth.
Yeah, you as
Still
you
picking up berries.
yeah, as you see Dikuth just like wandering down through houses, like you begin reading because on the other side of it in charcoal is and I will text that to you.
Oh, come
Seems
on.
like a break time.
Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna do.
Oh,
So
no, that was-
as Dikuth, you get face to face with Kovash after you're not really paying attention, and he's not really paying attention, and you guys come around the corner. You're like, and that's where we're gonna call a break for right now. Yes. All right. So many questions. All the questions. Thank you for everybody who joined us so far. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to meet back at 2 o'clock, let's just say. Easy, nice round number. Give everybody some time. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm going to go eat something real quick. That's why I'm giving an extra 5. So meet back here then, and we will find out more information about the green one. The green folk and the dog people. Alright.
I'm still dying over the last of the Master.
Oh my goodness, the greatest joke of all time.
Who said that?
It was Mr. Fluffers in Twitch
I
chat.
know who that is.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, that's my buddy Steve. Steve
Oh.
Flicks.
He said nobody expects the Cholchian Inquisition
Inquisition.
and then the last of the Maztekans. He's amazing. He was on fire.
Oh.
All right, we'll be right back, guys. Thank you. See you soon.
What the
And welcome back to new platinum content. This is the Dikuth band of merry men. We just got back from our break. Last we left off, the party had found a surviving member of what is known as the Green Folk and healed him and brought him back to his camp, asking him.
Definitely killed him.
Yes, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said killed him.
No, healed him. Yes, you killed him, then asked him questions.
Hey, speak with that is a
Viable option, I know. Damn it, Steven.
thing. Sorry.
You're good.
Healed him.
Healed him, asked him questions. There was an interesting reaction between a couple of the party members and him having interesting moments. Some stuff was discovered, as well as watching as Kovash walked away. And Kovash went back to where they found Shamali's body at first and looked around, found the Black Stag's arrow that had been ripped out of Shamali's body. And also proceeded to duck into hiding as he heard a returning army of sorts. And behind them, taking up the rear, in formation, writing something onto a patch of skin, was the Black Stag, who Kovash seems to be familiar with. Upon locking eyes with Kovash, the Black Stag simply laughed and continued to walk on, leaving behind the partial patch of skin that he began writing on for Kovash to find, along with a note. And that's where we
Did
leave
you
off.
not point out that he also left the skin where the guy's body used to be?
Yep. There you go. I forgot. Thank you. No, it literally was in the exact same spot. And as Kovash begins returning to the party, he runs into Dikuth, gathering and eating more berries on his way to find Kovash. And that's where we pick up.
Hey, Kovash.
You see Kovash putting something in his pack, and then he just kind of nods.
What was that?
Nothing that you need to worry about.
Oh, I'm not worried. I just want to know what it is.
Something I got from an old friend.
Should I be worried?
No.
Well, now you've made me feel like I need to be worried. Well, are you heading back to camp? I think they're still trying to, like, be friends with that guy you yelled at.
I mean, they can do what they want.
And why did you yell at him?
Because he ignored me when I told him to take me to the guy that I look like.
I don't think he understands anything. Because I totally asked if he wanted berries before and he ignored me.
That's not really my problem, though, is it?
Well, I mean, speaking louder generally doesn't help people understand you. But, I don't know. And Dikuth just walks back up the hill eating berries.
Alright. So
Kovash goes with him.
eventually Dikuth and Kovash will return, but during that time, what were you guys doing while Kovash was off? Anything else?
Well,
Wanting
Good
to have
news.
a conversation why Kovash always flies off to handle and attacks people or does stuff without us?
It's just standing there watching the other guy.
well, good news, Tramali. In order to get to the temple, we have to go past where we found you, so you can pick up your stuff.
No, I'm serious though. Do we want to talk about why Kovash always does stuff without telling us, and then just like he's not really intelligent, so like he doesn't have like grand plans that are gonna pan out.
I mean,
He kind of strikes me as a liability. I'm surprised you've let him stay with you this long.
I mean, stay with is okay, but like my question is, why do we entertain and let these things happen?
I
That was
don't know.
the
This is
question.
something that I don't know. This is something that I asked multiple times previously, but was refuted on. So I shall remain on the side of it as you wanted me to.
Well, previously
so
we were
itself.
in the middle of a life and death situation, is what I was told. Why we didn't talk about it then. But we're not in the middle of a
That
life and
was-
death situation now.
That
so
was that's the most recent one, Katja. Just because you don't remember me bringing it up when we were in the dragon's den isn't my fault. I'd already been attacked by Kovash by that
I
point.
mean, Dragon's Den also still implies the time that we were, literally in trouble for our lives.
I mean, when we all had the moment to rest and fall, and then moved out. Look, I don't know how to explain this to you, Katra, because you didn't live in the north. You didn't live in a continuous war front your entire life.
I
In
did.
this land and in Jelinus land. Thank you, Jelinus. I apologize.
I also lived in the north, and
Yes, Beowulf. I said the north. That implies. I thought we had nothing in common. And then comes
I thought
back.
you guys were all from the north.
The point
just saying
is,
that him from
Not
the
from the
north
north.
is for him acting this way. He needs to learn how to control himself.
I will pause this though. You would actually know of berserkers like this. There are many warriors in the north that are like that.
I mean, how long ago was Beowulf in the north?
A long time ago.
Never
And
mind.
just kind of looks back over to Kovash and he's kind of
Not to ruin your
a
point or
shrug
anything,
and
I'm saying.
says, in his face you can actually see like there's a little bit of actual facial reaction now. Like he kind of clenches his teeth and he looks a little uncomfortable for a moment before he kind of lets out a long sigh and says, "Well, before I took on the mighty Tempest, I was a berserker like he was. He's an untamed beast, from what I can tell. Sometimes, the rage takes on a life of its own."
Did the Mastican have something to say? I think he was waiting.
No, I was waving at chat.
I still don't think that that's an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse. That's the information that I know that I've tried to want to speak up on.
The
I mean,
Maztecan
also-
does speak up at this point, and oh wait, never mind. You guys are all speaking in common, so he doesn't care. He doesn't understand what you're saying.
But I was gonna say that he also doesn't take steps to protect his allies from his rage.
Which is why I gave you grace.
I distinctly remember you gave me the braces and told me to choose who to give them to.
Yes, because giving you a choice is the greatest way of letting you see the point that I was trying to make, which you're bringing up now.
No, I didn't need to see the point. I definitely have seen it before multiple times.
Well, I'm sorry. Your reactions and such when we were trying to face what could have been an immediate threat and facing danger. Or crash stuff. But I'm not trying to argue with you on this, Pancho. I apologize if you took it that way.
Bromley leans over to Beowulf and is like, "Is this something we should be worried about? Like,
What? You mean... I would just say to keep your distance from him if you can. He's like a wild dog, and he will bite you if he gets the opportunity.
okay then." Alrighty. That and like right as this conversation is ending is pretty much when Dikuth walks up, still with somehow more berries in his shirt than before, with Kovash soon to follow. Now, are you guys
Hey.
staying in this same campsite before we go on, or are you going to try and find? Someone said they were going to look for or try and find somewhere else.
Well, what is it? Midday now?
Around, yeah. It's closer to like 3, 4 now at this point. No. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. Because you guys slept already.
I mean, it should take another midday or about another half day to get to the top of the temple, right? If I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
So are we going to the temple or?
How long do we think the temple's gonna take?
I mean, I have an idea of where it is, at least where the entrance to it is. I don't know what's beyond that entrance to it, but
Well,
in through the top, like
I well, I think we need to rethink this out because the original plan was to kind of gather, go and do as we do, right? Well, circumstances seem like we might only get one more trip. Correct? Am I correct in assuming that?
I mean, we were gonna get one trip regardless. Cause if we got in, cause if we didn't make it back in time, the Jaguar would kill us.
Yes. Well, it's more so as long as it was when we need to kill the corruption within him. He'll know when that's
Yeah.
probably was proper to bring him through that.
But I do think the situation's changed
So
though.
we're gonna go as deep as this tree, and then we're going to gather whatever we are from there forward. Whatever we wanted to get from that point on. Go no deeper. Do not go towards the gas.
Yep, that sounds about right to me.
Much further than the gas.
I was gonna say the tree roots were in the gas.
Just in the gas. I mean, let's not go past where that spawn beholder was.
But if I remember correctly, the trees were back past.
No, that we rested there after. Where we saw the roots connecting toward, in the room that's sectioned off in 3 directions.
I'm
and in the
pretty certain
room
we
where
saw the roots in multiple places.
Nope.
Yes,
It was just that main hallway where so it was the room with all of the
where we found the
statue?
stone jaguar.
Yeah, the jaguars.
The spirit led us down to a death trap.
I thought it was also the hallway before the hallway with the long picture in it.
Nope.
Regardless,
was
we
all
just want
after
to all
the-
go down into the temple
Also,
and then
just to be clear, the room where you and Kovash were attacked by the snake, there were 2 other doors, and I have one good assumption on where one of them led, considering we had a straight path to it with all those strange finds. With the
What
door I
about that
opened.
place with all the mummies?
Well,
That
what
that's
about
why
the armies marching around the temple?
That's why we need to do one and get out. No deeper than that.
I think that's stupid. That leaves us blind. We could exit the temple after doing what we need just to walk into an ambush.
Or we could not exit the temple after doing what we need to not walk into an ambush.
Do you want to stay in there forever, Katra?
No, but there's more than one way in.
Do you know something I don't?
could go in through
Lots
the
of
top
things,
where we came
actually.
out.
I thought that was the plan.
I mean,
There are other entrances than the top.
Do you mean like the giant cave-in we fell in that we couldn't climb back out of?
I could fly.
And we have rope.
I have a whistle.
No,
yes, but we
I
have
remember
to
this.
dig that cave in out. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
I
We would
remember
have
this
to
because I
dig
tried.
that.
The only entrance or exit we know of is the top. To my knowledge, at least.
I thought we. So, you're telling me that we didn't leave a giant hole in the roof?
You did.
No.
That's the same spot as the entrance.
It's kind of in the same
Okay.
area, so there's technically two entrances, yes, because you fell through the roof and created a second one near where you guys exited out, but it's literally like 15 feet away from the other exit.
So Vash, you know this black stag the best. What are his
All right,
patterns?
hang on. Who is this black stag?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dungeon Master. He doesn't have patterns, right?
What patterns? What do you mean? Which kind?
Like, there's no way to predict where he's gonna be or attack from,
Oh, yeah.
or what he's going to do. He doesn't
Yeah.
have patterns. That's what
No.
makes him dangerous.
Exactly.
Sort of like me.
Is that the friend who's giving you gifts, Kovash?
So
Wait, what? Wait, you talked with him?
Kovash has
I didn't.
You got a gift
I
from
did
him?
not talk with him.
Kovash has gifts and he won't show them to me.
I don't have gifts. I have mementos.
What? Mementos from a.
I don't even know what that means.
Either way, there is no way. I can't
Wait,
tell you
but no,
what he's
either
going
way,
to do.
How do you have mementos from a time that you didn't talk to him?
I have mementos from when I knew him.
But Dikuth just said you had a gift that you got that you didn't show him.
Did Dikuth see me get a gift or talk to him?
No, not Dikuth.
Oh, was that a question for me? Was that like an actual question?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see it. You put it in your pocket, and then you told me I didn't need to worry about it. So now I'm worried.
He saw you put it in your pocket.
Yes. It's hard to hold things and remember
lie?
when it's in your bag.
It's hard to lie.
No. How? That's the point of mementos. You take them out to remember things, Katra.
Mementos are something that you put on a shelf and you look at to remember later.
I don't really have a shelf to put them on, so I carry mine with me.
So walk me through this. You just were walking through the forest, and while there was dangerous people about, and you stopped and you rifled through your bags, pulled out a memento, looked at this memento, and then put it away in the middle of a forest when you had nothing better to do.
We weren't in the middle of a forest. We were definitely in the village. I was walking. Am I not allowed to walk and have fond memories of a simpler time?
Not in a life and death situation.
Hey guys, Steve just told me that the stream just ended.
What?
Yeah, he said that he's looking at. Oh wait, nope, we fixed it.
No?
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm looking at it. It's up.
Yeah, it's up.
Sorry, continue. I'm so sorry.
Brahm leans over to Dikuth and he says, "A memento's like a piece or an item from long ago that like you have happy memories with."
Oh, did I ever offer you any of these berries?
No, but thank you. And he takes a whole handful and starts eating them. Oh, these are really good berries.
Right? Deacon starts tuning back to Kovash and Katra's little fight here.
Trade out the popcorn for berries.
right now, Sif is just like looking at these two, like mouth agape, and he just starts looking at the ground with a silent scoff. Just like, just like can't compel with this. Comprehend this. Sorry.
And Chimali speaks up and he says, Jalanith, I recommend we move this camp.
Yeah, I recommend the same thing.
I can tell you that we ourselves have been through this exact spot or near here.
Huh. Alright. Alright, guys, let's get moving. It's a half day's journey to the temple entrance, and I imagine that's how much time we have left before sundown. Push the talk, Steve.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought we were gonna wait for Kovash's friend to show up.
What makes you think he will? He hasn't yet.
Well, I mean,
Deception
just
check.
punch.
I want to insight check that.
It's not even a lie. He hasn't come out to us yet.
He has shown
He
up.
walked by.
The thing that Steven is referring to is Chimali did tell them that they would be coming back this way.
Jamali did say he would be coming back
Oh.
this way. And you seem to know him. You have some secret history with him that you don't want to share. So if he's harmless, why don't we just wait for him and talk to him?
Oh, I never said he was harmless. In fact, I told Beowulf last night the exact opposite.
All right. If he's your friend, why don't we just wait around and talk to him?
You could insight too, Steven, if you'd like, but
Oh, sure.
yeah. It's Kovash. It's hard to get a read on the blank-faced barbarian. Seems to be telling the truth, like he normally does.
Can we all inside him, or is that cheating?
I mean, it's not really
Does
cheating,
feel-
but like, you could give me, what's your passive insight?
What's passive again?
Just 10 plus your regular insight score. Huh?
My passive insight's 17.
17? You would get a sense that, like, he's not fully
Contested
telling.
checks stay the same as before.
I know.
I thought it.
She's still,
No.
or Bjolf is still doesn't believe you.
I mean, anyone cannot believe me.
Seems
So
like-
are we waiting another day then before we go into the temple?
I
Because
would-
it already took us 2 days to get here.
I would say there is nothing good that's going to come from us waiting for your mad dog's friend.
In fact, the longer we stay here, the longer your erratic, unpredictable friend has more options and things that can happen. So we're best off, especially if, for the moment, say that it does happen when we come out of the temple through an ambush.
I would rather
We have the hand.
not exit blind.
Push the talk, Steve.
In my mind, we're either exiting him and fighting, or and talking to him later, or waiting for him and talking to him now.
Or you guys go to take the tree, and I will
I
leave
don't-
some kind of a sign to let you know it's clear to come
I don't
out.
trust you enough to leave you by yourself, or let you go off on your own.
Are you going to stop me, little man?
Is that a challenge?
You tell me. You're the one talking about not letting me do things.
I didn't say not letting you do them. I said I didn't trust you to do them.
And I asked if you're going to stop me.
If I don't trust you, I don't have to stop you from doing them.
I whisper over to Chamala, is there a faster way to get to the temple besides the main road, or is that the fastest?
I mean, from this point, yes, it's pretty much the fastest. We could take the long route around to get to the other side, and it's much faster from that side, but like, we'd have a couple of miles of jungle to travel through.
Okay. Um, I recommend we
The-
go up to the temple.
It was built defensible, you know?
Yeah. I recommend we go up to the temple. We are familiar with the temple's ground, so we can put up a defense there for the night before going into the temple tomorrow morning.
I could take you anywhere you need to if you need to get to the other side or wherever. I am pretty familiar with this area of Maztica.
Is there any other way into the temple besides at the top?
That I do not know. I don't know anything that has to do with the holy. We were never allowed inside, you see.
Okay. Alright, here's the plan, guys. We move to the temple. We'll get there before nightfall. We'll set up a defense, I guess, if this guy shows up.
We could try and lead him into the temple. We'd have the hand in that part.
See, here's the thing. If he's the leader of these, um, what do we call them?
Dog people.
No, what is their actual name that Chamali?
Dogmen.
The north ones.
Yeah, these north ones. I mean, if he's smart, he wouldn't attack us alone. He would bring along his dogs.
Which I are doing again. We have the temple and we know it.
Yeah.
Also, numbers would mean little in those like corridors.
Well, there's no way to convince him to go into the temple. He has no reason to go in there to begin with.
Actually, we might have just the thing.
And
So that, what was your relation to him? You said that you know him so well.
He was one of my men.
So what makes you think that he wouldn't want to come find you at least? You said he's unpredictable, right? Do you
I
mean
left a message for
unpredictably?
him last night. If he wanted to come and find me, he would have.
I'm sorry, you contacted him?
I left a message.
That's still contact. Or did he not get it?
I don't know.
So are we not going to talk about Kovash contacting parties that might be interested in killing us?
I have a question. Is he interested in killing us, or is he just interested in killing you, Kovash? Actually, is he even interested in killing any of us or anything?
In my tribe, everyone wanted to kill me.
Yeah, right.
That's what held them together.
Right now, that feeling is pretty much what half of us here wants to do too.
You're welcome to try where they all failed.
It's too much shit going on for this.
I didn't want to come here. You all wanted to come here. Don't get mad at me for what happened when you guys didn't listen to me.
You definitely like champion coming here though.
100%. Multiple times I said we have no reason to go there other than a random map we found. You're wrong. Like 5 sessions in a row, I was like, we have no reason to go there. Why are we going there?
Treasure that no one else has gotten.
So somebody was like, I'm not making this up, but somebody was like, oh well, like over Mastika, blah 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 has or Kovash has business over there. We can just go that way. Am I making that up?
100%. Kovash had business in Luskin.
I have potential business here in Mastika, which I guess I now do. And then I wasn't sure if it was you. I remember Dikuth saying treasure on this island that has not been touched by anybody else. So that means there's a lot of treasure, which means more money.
I totally thought that's. I somebody was like, well, Kovash is something to do on the island. Let's go that way.
Nope, Jelenef did.
Oh, my bad. I take that one back.
And I also got the map when we were at the inn that gave us a little bit more information of what it is that we sought.
For most of you guys, it's just treasure. For me, it's that tree.
For me, it was a test as well. So I said that.
You guys lost Dikuth like 20 minutes ago.
All I know is that he makes me seem like a good person, and you do not want to come into an ambush set by him, because you won't even know you're dying.
Well, I have one thing to keep in mind. Actually, if I'm to make a proper assumption about Zoltek, considering he was an ally, he's an ally of Tempest, so he's and Sif looks confused as he's about to say this. A Panther of War, Jaguar of War. He may very well come to the temple as soon as he senses if he can feel the corruption is halting. We could use that to our advantage. He guaranteed safety within his land.
Safety and protection are two different things.
Jamali says, Jelenith, why do they keep saying Zoltek?
Because we all believe that we can potentially leverage a god to help you in your war.
What does this have to do with Zoltek?
Yes, Zoltek has. We have a deal with Zoltek to remove the corruption underneath the temple.
You just see his eyebrows shoot up. What do you mean you have a deal with Zoltek?
He came to us, told us that we were trespassing on his land. We told him that we were here investigating a potential corruption. And when he told us that he has felt this corruption for years, but he's not able to go down there to remove it, he made us a deal that if we were to remove the tree for him, he would not kill us.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh. Oof.
You're telling me that you met the aspect of war and the hunt?
Yeah.
I don't
Giant,
believe such. I don't believe this.
giant jaguar.
I mean,
I mean, if you don't believe it, we can just sit here for the next 4 days and wait for him to come eat us.
he won't eat me.
What's wrong, Jelena?
But if what you say is true, if Zoltek is basically our aspect of war and hunt and survival, and you were all in the presence of a literal demigod. What are you doing here? And he just cocks his head to the side.
Remember how I told you that we are tied to our honor and our duty?
Yes.
My people is a group of people whose job is to try and keep balance in the world. My specific sector, or my specific sect of people, dealt with corrupted trees that were being planted from beings from the Underdark. These trees corrupt the land around them, making them unuseful for any creature besides those of natures that do not belong on this primary realm, on the material realm. So my sect would go and remove these trees and do our best to defend the material realm from the invaders from the Underdark that would plant these trees. And we found we found a map that led us here for potential rumor of a tree that was on this island. And I have found proof that it was here. But the temple served far too dangerous for me to tackle alone. So the idea was to send word back to my people, if they exist, keep an eye on this place and wait for reinforcements to come and remove the tree properly.
What is the material planes?
Here.
Yes. So oh boy.
Is this a conversation for another time?
Yes, this conversation is much larger than this, but just be aware that there is more than just this realm that we live in. There are other worlds that sit on the edge of coexistence.
You see Brahm, Booker, Shamali, all are like, oh, okay.
Your first time learning about the whole like multiverse?
Yeah,
Multiverse? Bromley stutters out.
we can talk about this when we break for camp, but right now we need to get moving. And right now this spot is not defendable for us.
Tell me where
top
to
of
go.
the top of the temple, much more defendable. We know that terrain better. I suggest we sit up there.
All right, Booker, get your ass up. And Booker's like, all right. And goes, gets his pack and gets the sled ready.
Is there anybody with a free bag for Dikuth to put his berries into?
Sif will point to the horse and say there are small pouches on the upper backside of the saddle. Just try and put them on the top so you don't, have them all crushed.
droid the settle.
I guess Dikuth will put down his little pan flute, put his berries away.
Yeah, this entire time, by the way, guys, Dikuth has been playing his normal, like, casual melodies, but for whatever reason, when he's playing, and you all notice, Dikuth somehow has a pan flute again. You haven't seen him play a pan flute ever, unless you were part of the original party and saw it get stolen by Meepo. Meepo. It has been
Meepo.
that long, and suddenly Dikuth pulls out this pan flute and begins playing this wonderful melody. However, it does have this odd, like, inner echo harmonizing with it that's seemingly coming from the very same instrument. It's very odd.
Dikuth.
Yes.
I haven't seen you. Have you seen? Have you bought any
Oh.
flute?
You must have grabbed the flute when we were on the boat.
No. Meepo brought it back.
When did you see me?
I was.
Deception
Who's
check?
Meepo?
Deception.
Who's Meepo?
Hold on, back up.
fuck is Meepo?
Deception
Wait.
check, please.
When he says Meepo, you see Katra get very like murderous intent in his eyes.
Is there like a moment of flashback first? Like,
There definitely
PTSD.
is.
Well, no. I totally was having this dream about back when we were with Meepo the other night, and then I woke up and this pan flute was there, so I had to assume Meepo brought it back.
okay,
Who's Meeple?
then it's fine.
But that doesn't.
Who
make
is Meepo? That's a good question.
Meepo is none of your business. But
What
that
is
doesn't make sense.
what is a meepo?
Sif, to the sound of this, suddenly has his eyes kind of locked over at Dikuth and has like full attention.
Didn't we kill Meepo? No, Meepo ran away with Thunder.
No.
No, that was Urki.
Meepo
ran
got
away with
blasted
the
by
Hold on,
dragon.
Don.
did
Hold
die.
on, Don. Hold on, Don. Who's
Meepo,
Urki?
Meepo got blasted by a dragon that we sent him into.
Well, I just woke up in the pan flute.
So let me walk me through these events.
You guys are
You just-
moving, by the way. I'm assuming
You
you
just-
guys are moving towards the temple.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just woke up and there was just mysterious flute there, and you thought Meepo left it for you. But you never saw Meepo.
Yeah. But he also stole my wand, so
Did you get your wand back?
no.
So why would you?
He like left the pan flute but stole my wand.
What? Wait, what wand?
The little thing with skulls on it.
The stick thing? Wait a sec. Hold up. Meepo's dead. So, first of all, if you are seeing or experiencing something with Meepo, I think we have bigger concerns.
No, I mean it was just a dream, but I mean then the pan flute was there. So.
If you are dreaming Meepo, and then Meepo leaves you something that is real from that dream, we have issues.
Bill looks over at Dikuth and he says, "Wait, so you're missing that thing with the skulls, and now you have this flute?"
Someone help me explain
Yes.
explain to him.
Bill
you-
takes the stick and he's been carving and just throws it over his shoulder.
I want you to know, I imagine it more of a just like a like you see this flash of anger and then just like
Yeah.
a very slight like
You do hear him like growl out this like, "Kala," and then he throws it, and then the what's his face Chimichanga hears "fuck" in in undercommon.
He like shirks a little bit, like what?
I didn't say anything, Chamali.
Okay.
So yeah, now I have these pan food.
That's still not how that works. Like, I have concerns. You shouldn't be getting gifts from dead people in your dreams.
Says
Says everyone, guys.
Not yet.
Someone sure cares about their privacy with their gifts now.
I mean, didn't Sif get stuff from his god when he was asleep?
And
Meepo's not a
and
god.
Sif just finally just kind of is like raises an eyebrow and says, I went from a limbless dying corpse to not limbless and not dying and not a corpse.
We're also missing the point that Meepo's not a god.
Just to be clear, up until 5 minutes ago, we didn't know Zoltek was a god either, and we met him too.
Yes, but Zoltek
Sort
isn't
of go
living
back.
for people in their dreams.
You still haven't explained who Meebo is.
Ugh, this annoying little shit stain that died.
I mean, if he gave Dikuth a pan flute, I don't think he's
No,
dead.
he's dead. He was
No,
frozen
I'm-
and eaten by a dragon.
Bromley, like,
I'm pretty sure he was dead.
what's a Urki though? Like, I really want to know. That word's really interesting to me.
Urka is also an annoying little shit stain who is not Meepo, who did similar stuff to Meepo.
So shit stains
I
both
like
of
We
them.
just get to the temple, please.
We're working on that. We're still walking.
Well, you're
I'm
all
slowly-
being a meepo right now. Bromley like moves faster.
I
And
still
Sif,
need
like
some.
we'll just kind of we'll say I
guide.
second to that.
And if no one's going to agree or like acknowledge Katra, Katra's like gonna snatch the flute and throw it as far as way
Well,
as he can.
Booker will. Booker will be like, yeah, if you're getting random things from your dreams, that's kind of weird, man. Not gonna lie.
Not an everyday occurrence or thing. Normal people don't go through that.
It's never happened to me. I mean, I lost a tooth once, and I got money when I was really young, but that was like
Tooth Fairy, that's different.
tooth fairy.
Katra, normal people also don't fight dragons, but we've all done that.
People
Actually,
died
that's
of dragons. Actually, that's pretty normal.
And
I have-
None of us died to a dragon, did we?
Because we're all very capable. Just because normal people die to dragons, but normal people don't get stuff in their dreams, turn out real, and we do both of those things, does not mean that they're both okay.
Jonathan, you and Shamali gave up on stealth probably right away. But at this point, you've gotten to the top of the temple and have made your way up the steep stair steps to after picking up Chimali's bow, his spear had been shattered apparently, but he does have his bow and he picks that up quickly, kind of like hugging it close to him and looking at it like in a favorable light as you all head up to the top and make your way to the exit point of the temple that you left earlier in the week.
Shamali.
Yes?
Man, do I wish I could not understand the other people like you.
Why? What are they talking about? I wish I could understand them. It's pretty quiet.
It's a lot of stupid things. Is the bow the only thing you have right now?
I have a knife.
Okay. How many arrows do you have?
Let's say his quiver. Like 6.
Okay. I'm gonna give you 5 my arrows.
Okay.
I have 15 of mine.
What? You have arrows?
Yeah, I also have short bow.
A quiver can only carry 20 arrows at a time, so giving him 15 will not be helpful because a lot of those cannot sit in the quiver.
So then he can carry some in his hand.
Alright,
Shit.
so you give him enough to get max then. Let's just say that. You only have to give him 9, Steven.
That leaves me
Or give him
with-
another quiver.
I don't have another quiver.
Apparently, Dikuth has 7 quivers on him.
What?
I bought a lot of arrows, guys.
I mean, I just pick arrows up off of dead people.
And Dikuth gives him 2 quivers.
Chimali's like, thank you. He looks at like the craftsmanship and like actually like marvels at like the well worked leather and everything.
They're just arrows.
Huh?
They're just arrows.
Yeah, I'm talking about the actual quiver itself.
Oh, it's just a quiver.
I mean, he doesn't understand you. Puts it on. All right.
All right, set up camp.
Oh man.
All right,
I wanna know.
Small flames.
Brownlee and Booker begin like unpacking their like mini like tents and chests and shit they had brought along on the sled, getting them off. They begin unloading all their food and supplies and getting ready. Booker had brought a whole 2 climbing gear sets, climbing kits, along with a bunch of extra rope and some extra climbing utility stuff if you need it, as well as most of, if not all of his carpentry tools.
All right, Beof and Dikuth, can you guys go get some food if you can find any? If you guys are safe, if you guys feel safe to do so. Kovas, Sif, can you guys watch the perimeter of the camp? Just make sure nothing's gonna sneak by. I'm gonna try and spend the next hour setting up a series of alarms around this entire fucking camp. So the first ring of alarms is 50 feet 50 feet perimeter around the camp. The next set of alarms is 30 feet around the perimeter of the camp, and then the last set of alarms is just around the edge of this temple stairs here.
Okay. And they will all make a descending order pitch. So the first one will make a lower pitch, and then the last one will make a higher pitch bell. But yeah, that takes you about. And are you casting those or ritual?
I am ritual casting
Yeah,
these.
so that's gonna take
me
you a
fucking
half
forever.
hour to 45 minutes to do this.
Oof.
What are the rest of you doing while you see Jalaneth begin setting up her rituals with her? You see her pull out a tiny bell and a piece of fine wire, but the wire is like not wire at all. It's completely held together through natural means. There's several leaves and roots intertangled, and she begins weaving it around the campsite in several areas, proceeding further away each time. Yeah.
What's the like when we define dust? How fine does dust have to be?
Think like dust, dude.
Yeah, I would say some sort of powder, like, I don't know.
I would imagine at
Sand.
least, yeah. That's
Well-
what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say sand is just like very small granulated rocks, which I think is what I'm saying.
Or like minuscule.
So I probably don't have a way to crush rubies, right?
Probably not, unless you had a jeweler's kit on you.
I have shatter.
I wouldn't recommend that, but you could certainly try.
Please,
Doesn't sound like a good idea.
please do it. Please do it in front of your face.
What are the rest of you doing then? Anybody doing anything? Oh, go ahead.
Dikuth and I have gone off to get food,
Okay.
so yeah.
Alright.
This will take a wider walk around the perimeter on the outside first, getting a stand along the tree line and such. namely taking in like everything that's of notable difference, good spots that he or any of his other any of the experience that they would have used to like watch over, look out, or look over where we're camping out as best they can, and then begin walking in a perimeter along just the outside of the walls.
Just an FYI as well, Kyle. The spell lasts for 8 hours even after it's been triggered.
Oh, really? That's hilarious.
Yeah, so it can be trigger. It can be trigger over and over and over again.
That's amazing. All right.
Guys,
Min.
I had a moment. I don't need 50 gold pieces of ruby dust. It was just an example that Roll20 put in to the component slot for a placeholder.
As like an example of what your component could be.
Yeah. To be fair, it's a spell I've never used before.
What spell is it?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm gonna wait for you to see Katra use.
The spellcaster secrets. I love it. So yeah, you all proceed. Actually, Dikuth and Bjolf, give me a survival check, please.
We already did, actually.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. So Bjolf, you see that Dikuth starts to like wander off away from the direction of the already known food source that you and Jelenith the last time you were camped here used, and you're like no. And you lead him over and to away from the emotional changing fruit, and to find another larger patch of like berries and the same kind of roots that Jelenith showed you were pretty edible here and pretty alright once you cooked them for a half hour or so.
Technically, the natural 20 is the one that should be used because of the wander.
Shit. Oh, you're a wanderer, right? Okay.
That's
Then
one advantage.
here, give me a second then.
You may have 60, sir.
Yeah.
You do see, while you're kind of bending down, getting all of this fruit and vegetable life gathered, you do hear like a cracking of a twig, and off further down where the stream is, you see what looks like a deer, and you're worried at first because the stag head, but you see it's a doe of some kind. However, the like back half of it is encircled in these like reds and greens, where the front half is this gray dark tan like a normal deer. And it like just stands there for a moment. You pause and don't move, and then it just goes back to drinking at the stream.
So I just like kind of hold my hand out to indicate that Dikuth should be quiet, and then I want to throw a dagger at it, try to kill it.
Okay.
Is it close enough for me to do that?
It would be at disadvantage. You would have to get a little bit closer.
What about a guiding bolt?
That's in range.
Okay. I want a guiding bolt this little fucker right through the face.
Alrighty, give me a spell.
Damn it. I mean, I can't imagine its armor class is super high.
No, that's gonna hit.
Yes! Okay. There we go.
Yeah, it's gonna kill it. So yeah, you cut open a little slice on your arm, drawing forth a little bit of the blood, which just starts forming into this large matter-like ball, and you just hurl it quickly at the deer, and it hits it. You were aiming for the heart, and it kind of takes it in the neck and the head, and you just watch as the head gets blown off, and the body stands there for a second, then like slowly falls over.
Yay!
You remember that one time I convinced a deer it killed itself?
I do remember that one time. It was a baby.
This reminds me of that.
What the hell was that, yo?
I look over at Dikuth and I kind of smile and I'm like, "What? Don't you want dinner?" And then I go over and I go to like pick it up and like throw it across my shoulders.
It's
You like blew up its entire head.
Well, now we don't have to worry about getting the brains out. No one ever eats the head anyway.
That is so a lie.
But yeah, it's
From a northerner.
smaller than a normal deer. Normal like white-tailed deer that we're used to. It's probably 90 pounds lighter than that. It's slightly shorter, and the coloring is just throwing you off. But you see now that when its head is down, like its head was down, the back end of it just is lost into the jungle.
Huh.
It just
So, like it.
the coloring pattern just seems to like work perfectly with any part of this jungle.
Ooh. Okay, cool. I want that. So I just kind of heft it up, and then I start heading back to camp.
All right. So yeah, you make your way back to camp. Dikuth like following you, and the rest of you finish up all your nightly chores. Right around the same time that you watch as Bjolf walks into camp with a carcass over his shoulders.
Oh, I think
Huh. That's
that is
Hey
it.
guys, Bjolf blew this deer's head off. It was crazy.
Like the blood exploded, or it just like
No,
I
like
think
its
he
head just
literally
blew
blew
up.
its head up.
I'm trying to imagine that, and I'm imagining.
You
like,
don't
blood
have
just,
to
like,
imagine
spraying
it
everywhere.
as you're saying that Bjolf turns and the head is just like ripped off. You don't see anything. The neck is like just a few ragged pieces of skin, as there is no neck or head anymore. Where you imagine a deer head would be.
I take it off and I start to skin it. I want to try to like save its
Sure,
butt skin.
sure.
Yeah.
Save the tatters.
No, the head is in tatters. The butt is fine.
I know.
the
I
back half.
The
The
butt
back
skin.
half.
I was just being
The
facetious.
butt skin.
Yeah, but I want to try to keep that.
I'm too old to be laughing at
Survival check, I guess.
All right.
I don't know what skinning is. I've never actually done that before.
I think it would be survival.
The advantage because of the wanderer thing. So at least I don't like.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll let it in because it's a deer, and it's cool.
I appreciate you.
You begin skidding, and you start at what's left of the neck chest area to like, it's been a while since you've skinned an animal. It's been a long time.
Been a while.
It's been a while.
Sorry.
So for the most part, you get all of your like accidental cuts and lacerations and miscuts out of the way on the gray, like tan part of the pelt. And when you start getting to the interesting colored part, you actually start picking up, getting a good flow, and are able to remove a good portion of it. It seems like it could make a decent 3/4 cloak, maybe a half cloak, or some kind of clothing option. But yeah, you got it. And also now have around 90 pounds of meat, raw meat that you could butcher.
John F comes back at this point like, oh, you got yourself a deer. Whoa, where's the head?
It's
Blasted.
He blew it up.
oh, I traumatized Dickon.
I don't know. I feel like
Huh.
he's in wonder at this point.
Well,
It does, right?
I asked to go first for food, and yeah, that's
It's just
a
food.
pretty good. That's a pretty good forage.
You already see like Booker cutting into it and like getting the shanks ready and everything. Like he's going to town. He's like looking hungry. He thinks this is gonna be a good meal. So yeah, you already got Booker like butchering the meat part. But yeah, you can add a Maztecan half dough skin to your inventory.
Also, I don't know if anyone notices this, but Bjolf 100% starts cutting off pieces of raw meat and just kind of like gnawing on them.
Booker notices, and he's like,
That's pretty normal for me.
yeah. He still gives you like the weird look, like like still like, oh yeah, okay.
Booker, make sure you avoid the digestional tract.
Oh yeah. You don't want to hit that. That'll mess up all the meat. That and the bladder. Gotta stay away from that.
Sif will go and like actually kind of like and ask Booker and say, "Give me the heart."
I knew someone was going to ask for the heart. I knew someone was going to do it. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to be Bjolf or Kovash.
It's not mine to give away. That's any points over to Bjolf. I mean, it's in the pile right there, and he like points to the guts there.
Sif will go take the heart, go offer it to Joel. Your kill.
Did you want to? Well,
You have to eat that whole thing.
Bjolf kind of grins, grabs the heart.
That seems scared. I want you to know, Katra's like, that seems kind of bar. Ah!
And Sif nods and says, "Good kill." It was a bit. Oh wait, how big was the heart actually?
Like 90, like 100 pounds. Removed the head and the skin and the guts, and it was like 90 pounds of meat. And then probably like 50 pounds of usable good meat, not like
Oh no, I'm talking the
muscle
heart.
and stuff. Oh, the heart. I thought you were using the
The
other
heart. How
word
big
for
was
a
the
deer.
Probably like a pound or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, deer heart's about a pound.
May it bring you good. May it bring you substance and good wealth.
You threw me off.
You're killing me.
Sif is
Kyle.
also Sif was also a savage barbarian of the wolf tribe. They ate the hearts of their kill.
I didn't think you were actually gonna eat that. Well, I'm sorry.
I think you should like make
What?
sure you don't catch something like that was raw meat.
I'm
He
aware.
is
It's a little cooled off at this point. There is still some inner warmth as you bite down into it. And imagine like a soft gusher.
Oh yes,
That's exactly what it is.
yes.
You're speaking to someone who has experience. It's literally a soft gusher, and like
Oh, yeah.
it sprays everywhere, and like you just have blood running down. It's soft, it's tender, it's pretty good. It would probably be really, really good with like some butter and like lemon. You're thinking.
I look I look in my pack. Do I have any butter or lemon?
No.
Only
I
the
know.
Molly.
You
fruit.
would not have butter. Butter would not last.
I know it would be just a puddle.
And as you all cook up and enjoy, for those of you who do partake in the meaty kill that was brought to you by Bjolf, for the first time in a while, you enjoy a really good, warm-cooked, meaty meal. I assume the Northerners take part heavily in it, and it's a pretty good meal overall. Booker seems to be able to cook pretty damn good in Valdra's place. And you all kind of get down and rest and ready to go to bed for the night. Is there anything else you
Can
guys
I dry
want
out
to do?
the stomach?
Sure.
Can I dry out the stomach? and
Sure.
take it?
It's easy enough.
I would like to look off into the distance. Tell me, Kyle, what does my elven eye see?
What?
Why?
Which distance are you looking into?
So I imagine I climb up on top of one of the walls real quick and just kind of look around, see if I can see any like moving lights or
Give
Any-
me a perception check. Legless type
any
shit.
large beast that has multiple tails.
Where he does the thing where he's like just staring off into the distance.
Essentially, yeah. God dang it.
Hey, it's not true for that roll though. You got the higher roll first.
Yeah.
But it's not hard. I mean, you see this giant pillar of smoke coming out from somewhere on the island.
Is it black or is it white?
White.
Okay. So that means it's a wood burn, it's not a house burn or anything like that.
But the size
Have
of
you seen
it.
any houses here? I guess the
Yes.
village.
Yeah.
There is the village.
village, yeah.
The size of it would probably mean that this is a bonfire. The size of, well, you could only imagine probably 20 feet by 20 feet. Like huge bonfire just soaring into the sky.
Jonathan, what you looking at?
And I point at the giant smoke that's going up from the sky somewhere in the distance. That looks like a feast.
Oh.
Yeah, for real. Contra screams from 20 feet below. What you looking at, Jeleneth? Chimali.
Oh,
Chimali.
if he was up, I would probably fly, right? Because Jonathan's the only one that's still up.
No.
I mean,
because
as far as I'm aware, Kovash is the only one who went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Just
Never.
tooting on his instruments.
Lee is also up, and hearing that, he kind of, yeah, it's probably the dog people's celebration.
Oh. Do we want to know for sure?
It's pretty far. I mean, you can fly. So who knows how fast you can get there. We, landwalkers, would probably take another half-day journey to even try and find it. Because once we go into that forest, we can no longer see those smoke. So it's a little bit hard for us to track it.
So what you're saying is I should fly over there, see what's going on, and come back?
That's your call. If you want to do that, everybody seems to be doing their own thing. So if this is what you want your own thing to be, feel free to do that. I think just knowing that they are somewhere over that far away is enough comfort for tonight.
GM,
Yes.
do I feel confident that I could fly over there?
How long does fly last?
It lasts 10 minutes.
Probably not.
60 feet per second, so that means you're doing
60 feet per 6 seconds.
yeah, sorry, 60 feet per 6 seconds, which means
Also,
you're
I
doing
could I
360
dash?
feet every minute.
Is dashing not a thing?
Oh, so that's what 120 feet every 6 seconds. So that's 600, 800 feet every minute.
Yeah, it seems like more than a couple of miles out.
Yeah. The cat concurs with my math.
Okay, buddy.
Well, I have three third level spell slots left. That does seem a bit far.
Do be aware that you will be the only one who can do this. You'll be the only one flying, so if you get shot at, none of us can help you.
Yeah, but if I'm up high enough, it shouldn't matter.
You are aware I can shoot 200 feet with this bow, right?
You're aware I can fly like 400 feet, right?
You're aware that you can only see in darkness out to 120 feet, right?
Yeah, and people also seldom look up.
Bromley leans over to Bjolf again. Is it always a dick measuring contest?
You know, it hasn't stopped since I've started walking with them, really.
He just kind of rolls over in his sleeping roll.
If you want to do it, go for it. That's on you.
Sure, I'll try it.
Alright.
So I will cast fly, and
Oh my god.
and I will fly like 300 feet in the air and as fast as I can towards the smoke.
Roughly 5 minutes in, you realize that you haven't made the halfway point. It's still probably another 10 to 20 miles away. And you can choose to turn around or try to keep going. You
Yeah,
are
keep
a
going.
sorcerer after all. Alright. Alright, so you keep going. You hit like maybe a quarter of the way there. And you're probably 9 minutes in. Do you recast the spell? Alright, so there's a moment where you like whoop, whoop, like start dropping out of the air for a second before recasting and going. You're
talk?
muted. You can't use your finger and talk to me.
I'm going to use. I'm gonna turn. Oh, I can't apparently alt click either. I'm gonna turn some spell points or some sorcerer points into a third level spell slot.
Steve, do you want to know the map of
Okay.
your miles per hour? It would take you 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes to travel a mile at your speed. And this thing is 3 to 4 miles away.
No, like 5 to 8 miles away still.
He would get like halfway through the second fly and then turn back though. He only has 3.
Okay. Yeah, you realize that your second fly probably gets you just over halfway. And as you're getting closer, this smoke cloud is ginormous. Like, it's just rising into the air, and you can only imagine, like, how big it is getting even closer to it is, because it's just perspective changing. And then you decide to...
Oh shit. Wait, now I don't want to turn back. It's bigger.
Bigger
but-
doesn't mean that that's a good thing either.
They're also only halfway
know.
there, a little bit over halfway there, which means by the time you get there, it will be even bigger.
Well, pause. Can I see the source of the fire?
I mean, not really. You do see like this very bright glow coming through the jungles from the angle you would be looking at, but you don't see the source of the fire. Like it seems to be large enough
Turn around.
that it's just illuminating the general area around it. Alright,
I would head back.
alright. So it takes you another roughly 20 minutes to get back. Do you have enough spells to do that? For another 2 times?
1.5 spell slots.
Yeah, I would only need to cast it one more time, right? Because it was 1, half back 1.
Yes.
Because if not, I'm gonna have to shuffle some spell slots around.
Yeah, you're gonna have to shuffle some spell slots because no, it was in fact 2 got you over the halfway point.
But so I said though, if I cast one and I cast another one and about 5 minutes into that first one, it seemed like I was only halfway. I wouldn't fly that entire 10 minutes. I would fly back.
All right, then yeah, it would be 1 more.
Okay, so
You're
then I
brushing
do
it
that.
though. You'll be like, shoo.
Okay, I mean that's fine.
Okay. Muted.
I could the point either way I could fly back. It's just do I have to sacrifice some first level spell slots to do so?
You don't know. It'll be rough. It'll be a rough count. So you're all chilling. Anybody else want to do anything else while you all watch as Katra just flies off into the air?
Nope. Sif will take this time just cooking some of the meat and enjoying our own little piece.
I'm gonna try something weird. Bio,
Mm.
could you come with me?
Sure.
Shamala, can you also come with me?
Come with me.
Jamali, yes.
Shamali, yeah.
Let me count that.
We're gonna head a little bit into near the forest for a bit, yeah, just it might be a bit, guys. We'll be back. I want to go near the forest, so I'm gonna say this in both Maztecan and in Common, so that way both can understand what I'm planning here. I would like to contact Zoltek. Zoltek, right? Yeah, Zoltek. So.
Okay.
And to do so, I think another deer would be fine. And I bring you both because 2 things. 1, you found that first deer, so you might have a better idea of like where, so you can show me where you found it, and we have a better idea of, potential other ones. And 2, I believe you'd be able to protect my back should things go haywire, or at least keep Chamali alive.
This Jonas like solo adventure with Bjork.
Yeah. Oh, it's. Oh, yep.
Chamali, I need you here to be an example of your people.
I will do my best.
So let's go find us a deer.
Alright.
Preferably a hart. A hart is what you would call a stag. It's specifically used for a stag.
No,
And-
the female.
And as
Hart is the male version.
you all begin
Yeah.
going off into the forest to once again hunt for a deer, that's what we're gonna call it for today. As you all are making your way into the deeper parts of the jungle, Shamali is actually going to begin taking lead and tells you that he knows some deer tracks around, or deer paths around here. As the rest of the group is falling into their slumber or setting up for the night, and as Katra is careening back to camp, we will pick up next week, same time, right? Everybody's good for next week? Same time, same place.
Yup.
Don?
Next
you're
week
good.
I'm good. It's the
Yeah.
week after I'm not.
Okay.
And
So-
I thought it seemed like we were just canceling that day
Yeah.
because Daniel was gonna help
Yeah,
me, and I think
that's
Austin
fine.
said
Yeah,
he
we'll
would.
just not this next week we'll be playing, but the week after we will be stopping because we're helping Donnie Illumidani move if we are free. I should be or might be now at this point. Who knows? But we'll figure that all out. You all have a great rest of your week. Tune in tomorrow for Illumidani's game of the week, which I think he's getting some more league grind in with Austin Tier Bloods, right?
And maybe you.
And maybe me. Tomorrow at
Don't go to the light side.
Probably around sometime between. He works till 2:30, so probably 3-ish, 3
Okay.
4.
okay. All right, and thank you everybody for
When I actually get out.
okay. Thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you all had fun. We had an interesting session today. The last couple have been pretty good. I liked them. Had a lot of fun. Very interesting character development happening. Very interesting character arc starting, or maybe ending, or maybe in the middle of. Who knows? Come find out next week, and maybe we'll meet the Black Stag. All right. Bye, everybody.